What's up YouTube? It's your boy SlayIsland. Week 2 of the NBA 2K League regular season is over. That means it's time for my Week 2 power rankings. If you want to watch the NBA 2K League games live, make sure to check them out on Twitch, twitch.tv/NBA2K League. Games will be played every Friday and Saturday. And if you're a fan of the league, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more NBA 2K League content. But let's get right to my rankings. At number 17, we have Mavs Gaming. The Magic are one of the few winless teams in the league, sitting at 0-2. I had the Magic ranked 17 in my original power rankings, and seeing as they haven't won a game yet, there's no reason to move them. This upcoming week, the Magic have 2 games. First they play the Knicks, and then they play the Warriors. We'll see if they can get their first tally in the win column. Moving on to my number 16 team, we have Bucks Gaming. Like the Magic, the Bucks are currently sitting at 0-2. Last week, the Bucks showed a lot of promise as they lost to a very good Pistons team by only 1 point. But looking forward into week 3, the Bucks have a tough matchup against Blazer5 Gaming. And looking at week 4, they have another tough matchup against the Cavs. The Bucks are going to need to take one of these games because nobody wants to start the season off 0-4. And now we have our only 0-3 team coming at number 15, and that will be Raptors Uprising. Like the Bucks, the Raptors have a tough matchup in week 3 as they take on the red-hot 76ers. In a 14-game season, 0-4 is extremely tough to come back from. But the Raptors showed promise last week as they moved Kenny to the small forward, and the offense looked way better with him running the 5 out. In my opinion, this is a must-win game if the Raptors want to keep their playoff hopes alive in this early season. Now coming in at number 14 on my rankings, we have Warriors Gaming Squad. The Warriors are another winless team as they sit at 0-2. Ever since the Warriors were able to win their group in the tip-off tournament, they haven't been the same. And they're coming off a double-digit loss to the Heat. They tried to make some changes in this game. They wanted to move Beast Move to point guard, and it just wasn't the right move. I expect them to move Like a Pro back to point guard, and we'll see if they can get back on the winning track as they take on the Magic in week 3. Moving on to my number 13 team, we have Grizz Gaming. The Grizz are 1-1 on the season after losing to the Cavs by 10 last week. This upcoming week, they're going to play 2 games, one against the Jazz and one against the Kings. At the start of the regular season, the Grizzlies moved their second round pick and the guy they drafted as center, authentic African, to small forward. And so far, in both their regular season games, he scored over 20 points. If he can continue to play at a high level and the other guys on the team can chip in, I can see the Grizz taking one of these games. But if they can't, they'll be sitting at 1-3, and that's not a good start from the kids from Memphis. Coming in at number 12 in my power rankings, we have Pacers Gaming. In week 2, the Pacers lost a heartbreaker to the Wizards as they lost 62-63 to drop to 0-2 to start the season. This Pacers team looked really good in the tip-off tournament, and I honestly can see them still turning their season around. The problem with this team is they have trouble scoring the ball. They don't really have that guy who can take over a game. It was Wolf early in the season, but people are figuring out how to stop that 5 out. Where they lack on offense, they make up on defense, as the Pacers have clearly one of the best defenses in the league. And looking at their week 3 matchup, they take on the Cavs. This is a must-win game for them as they do not want to start the season 0-3. Next up, we got my number 11 ranked team, and that will be Knicks-Gaming. The Kings are sitting at 1-1 and are coming off a blowout loss to the Cavs. I have one piece of advice for the Kings, and until they do this, they're going to have trouble winning games. Their small forward Cowboy Collazo has to get off that shot slasher build. Nobody respects his shot from the corner, and it's allowing the rest of the team to help out. This one simple change will improve their offense so much, and I'm interested to see if they make the necessary adjustments in week 3. Moving on to the top 10 of my power rankings. Sitting at number 10, we have the boys from New York, Knicks-Gaming. The Knicks are sitting at 1-1 and are coming off a 4-point loss to Blazer5 Gaming. The Knicks really impressed me in this game as they had to lead the majority of the game against the Blazers but choked in the 4th as the offense went stagnant late in the game. I think the Knicks found their bread and butter on offense. Get the ball to Goofy down low, and when that's not working, let Nate work in the 5 out. Is this going to win a championship? We'll see. But I think they'll be in the playoff picture for sure. And I see them getting back to their winning ways as they take on the Magic in week 3. Moving on, the number 9 ranked team in my power rankings is Heat Check Gaming. The Heat are also sitting at 1-1 after an 11-point win over the Warriors in week 2. However, in week 3, they have an extremely tough matchup against the Mavs. I'm really excited for this matchup, as the Heat have been looking like a mid-tier team all year, but taking on one of the best teams in the league, we'll get to see where they really stack up. A win over the Mavs could also be a huge confidence boost for this Heat team, and as everyone probably knows, when you're playing confident, you play way better. Next up, jumping all the way from number 14 to number 8 on my rankings, we have Wizards District Gaming. The Wizards are sitting at 2-1 as they won a doubleheader last week versus the Pacers and the Magic. This Wizards team is one of the best big threes in the league. Jin, Boo Painter, and JT all average over 15 points a game, and together they make up one of the most potent offenses in the league. But they have a tough matchup in week 3. They're taking on the 76ers. If the Wizards can win this game and improve to 3-1, I don't think anyone will be sleeping on them anymore. Coming in at number 7, we have the Jazz. The Jazz are also sitting at 2-1 after an overtime win over the Raptors. I'm sure a lot of teams aren't thrilled with their first round pick so far, but the Jazz are not one of those teams. Yeah, Compete has been everything they expected at point guard, and I'm sure if they had to repick, he'd be going to Utah once again. And as they take on the Grizzlies in week 3, I expect them to be going back to Utah sitting at 3-1. Moving on to my number 6 ranked team, we have Grizz Gaming. The Cavs are sitting at 2-1 after 2 double-digit wins in week 2 over the Grizzlies and the Kings. The big story with the Cavs is Hood not playing in week 2 and will he play in week 3? And here's the answer to that question. I'm 99% sure Hood will not be playing. They're 2-0 with Hood on the bench, so why change it up? And if they keep this winning streak alive, I wouldn't expect to see Hood for a while. But if they lose this next game against the Pacers, expect to see Hood back in the lineup in week 4. My number 5 ranked team is Pistons GT. The Pistons are the first undefeated team in my rankings as they sit at 2-0, coming off a 1-point win over the Bucks. The Pistons being one of the only 3 undefeated teams in the league, you might expect them to be higher in this rankings, but I need to see more out of this team. They don't really have any impressive wins under their belt, and they don't stand out in any statistical category. But nonetheless, somehow they figure out a way to win games. And if they can beat the Celtics and improve to 3-0, they will be a top 3 team on this rankings. And speaking of the Celtics, coming in at number 4, we have the kids from Boston, Celtics Crossover Gaming. The Celtics are sitting at 2-1 after they lost to the Mavs last weekend. I think the Celtics will be a top team all year due to the fact that they have the best point guard center duo in the league. Fab currently leads the league in assists and steals, and Arsenal leads the league in rebounds. Their only concern so far has been their 3-point shooting, as they rank among the worst teams in the league at 3-point field goal percentage. If Mel East gets on a shooting build and Fab can find his shot, this Celtics team will be scary. Moving on to my top 3, at number 3 we have Mavs Gaming. In week 2, the Mavs had 2 games. The first game they beat the Celtics, and the second game they lost to the 76ers. This puts them at 2-1 to start the season. The Mavs can't be mad at that 1-1 split, as that's one of the toughest doubleheaders we'll see all year. Dimes has been living up to the title of number 1 overall pick, and Ball Like Seamus came out of nowhere to establish himself as one of the best shooting guards in the league. And don't forget, Dave Fry, their center, is also a top 3 scorer in the league. This forms a dynamic trio that combines for 56 points a game. Next up, my number 2 ranked team, 76ers GC. When people talk about the best point guard in the league, 2 names normally come up, Fab and Dimes. But let me tell you what, moving forward, we can't have that conversation without bringing up Radiant. Radiant has outplayed every single point guard he's gone up against, and he's led his team to an undefeated record so far in this season. No point guard shoots better than Radiant. No point guard passes better than Radiant. Radiant is the best point guard in the league at this moment. It's a fact. That's all I have to say. And if anyone in the league thinks they're a better point guard than Radiant, when you play the 76ers, please drop him off. Moving on to my number 1 ranked team, and once again, that's Blazer5 Gaming. The Blazers are sitting at 2-0 on the season after a win over the Knicks. And I say this every week, but the Blazers still have the best front court in the league by a mile. Nobody is stopping shots in Walnut, and you're especially not going to stop them if you don't have a rim protector at center. So tip 1 for all the teams playing the Blazers, Walnut said it last week, please bring out a rim protector or you're not going to beat them. But with how great of a player Walnut is, it's going to be extremely tough to score with a rim protector. Goofy, one of the best paint players in the league, missed 10 shots against Walnut with a post-scoring athletic. So basically what I'm saying is not going to be an easy game no matter what against this Blazer5 team. I don't see the Blazers losing anytime soon, and if you see the Blazers on your schedule, get ready for a dogfight because they play with a killer mentality. But that's it for this video. Here's the games for week 3. Make sure to hit that like button if you like this video, and I'm out. Until next time.